Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where this year I am definitely not striving for perfection, but instead I'm striving to actually get to learn more about myself, my preferences, and my makeup collection. If you are interested in hearing what this whole concept of the basket of doom is going to be, which will be a series here on my channel in 2023, then I hope you will keep on watching. Alright, hi everyone. So if you've seen my very first video of 2023, which was also my very first Martini Monday, then you will know that I have a lot of beauty stuff, like way too much a lot. And this is going to be another series where it will actually help me rotate through my things, and I'm hoping will help me declutter some of the things that I definitely no longer have a use for in my makeup collection. I did a couple of these Basket of Doom videos back in, was it 2020? It may have been either 2020 or 2021. I don't remember. I can link the couple that I did in case you guys are curious. But basically, it was where I would take products that I'm on the fence about, that I haven't used in a while, that I really need to revisit before deciding what to do with them. And, you know, I give myself a certain time period to try to use them and go from there. I've tweaked the series a little bit this time around. I have a few rules for myself this time around, now that I know exactly what my crazy makeup collection numbers are, and I wanted to share today with you guys my January basket of doom. But before I do that, I just wanted to welcome all of you to my channel, whether you're new or returning. Hi, my name is Natalia. I'm a concert pianist, hence the piano behind me. I'm also a piano teacher and a music school owner, and I have for the past, I want to say about 13 years, been an intense lover of makeup and beauty. I've loved fashion before that, and just due to certain life circumstances and schedule changes and weight gain and all of that, while I still love fashion, I don't participate in it quite as fervently as I used to, and I think I've just shifted my attention over to makeup at some point. I'm hoping to regain my love for fashion. I have some personal and fitness goals this year, but that's something we could cover in another video if you guys are curious in my overall goals for 2023 and beyond. But today we are starting our makeup journey for this year. I know that a lot of creators do a basket of shame, which that video might be coming. That's where we share all the products we have purchased and never used, never touched, never got around to. Before we do that, I figured I really need to come up with a system for the makeup products that have been in my collection for a long time, or maybe not even a long time, that I'm just on the fence about. So this is my January basket of doom. Let's go through it and let's talk about some hopes and kind of guidelines. I don't even want to call them rules, because this is supposed to be more as just a way to rotate through things. I don't really have any set rules. I just have some guidelines I would like to follow. Let me show you everything that's in here, and I think the guidelines will kind of just work themselves into my conversations. All right, let's try to go in some sort of a cohesive order and see what happens. By the way, I have, maybe not exclusively, but I have quite a lot of the products from this basket on my face today. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, see if you can guess what I have on before peeking down in the description box, because I do try to tell you guys what I'm wearing on my face as long as I remember. I picked out two primers to try in January, and these are both, I'm just not sure whether I want to keep or not. This is the BECCA Backlight Priming Filter. I really loved, what was it called? It was in a purple tube or glass jar if it was a full size, because this is not a full size. I loved that primer. In fact, you will see it in an upcoming empties. I did use one of those up, but this one, I feel like it has that shine to it that is, as I age, starting to emphasize all the bad things in my skin instead of just giving me a nice glow. So I want to try it a few more times in the month of January and see if this is worth keeping around and actually using up, or if I'm ready to part with it. And then same kind of with this one, except I don't believe this one ever gave me like an uncomfortable shine or illuminated anything I don't want illuminating. I just don't remember if I really liked this. I don't even know if it's still any good. I've had this for quite a while. It came, I think, in a BoxyCharm, and I haven't been subscribing to that in years. So those are the two primers. And just to clarify, this doesn't mean I'm going to be exclusively using these products. These are just products I would like to actually use this month and see if that helps me me make a decision about what I'm gonna do with them. Now, I was considering making a rule where if I don't get around to something in these baskets, that just means it's time to let them go. And that might be the case, especially in the first few months, because I'm gonna start with like some of my older products or things that I really am already questioning and see if I can weed some of that stuff out in the first few months of the year. I think that'll also give me a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a self-esteem perk, you know, like a little pep of like, yay me, I'm actually moving things out of my collection and really testing products out and accomplishing things in life. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, for concealer, the one that I used to love years ago was my Urban Decay Naked. And by now, I just don't know. I don't know if it's the right shade anymore. I used to be that highlighting everything kind of gal, and now I'm trying to get away from that. My skin is aging, so some products complexion-wise are not working. Sorry, things are dropping, are not working the same way for me anymore. So I'd like to give this a shot a few times this month and see what I decide to do with that concealer. I have this BECCA light shifter doing tint. This I bought, I think, on a recommendation of Angelica Nyquist, and from what I remember, the 1 or 2 times that I've used this in the past, before of course BECCA went under, is even though I'm not a full coverage kind of gal, this just gave me almost nothing. So I want to try it out a few more times, see if this is even worth my time, and go from there. For powder, I've had this for eternity. This is the Maybelline Fit Me, and I haven't used it in so long. I need to just see, is it fitting for me to actually keep it? I have a really old Benefit Hoola. It has pan, but I just haven't reached for it in so long. I'd like to see if this is something that I still will ever use. And kind of the same with the Milk Makeup. I had a mini that I really liked, but then it broke. The component actually broke. And then I saw this at Marshall's for $9.99, and I have yet to reach for it since, and I have a feeling honestly by now it's too old, but I'm going to open it up and see and decide whether it's going to stay in my collection or not. I have this little tiny cute adorable mini from Ulta Beauty, and I have just what's called a bronzer and an illuminator. I'm sure I got this as like a gift with purchase or on some sort of a super duper clearance. I know I've used it a few times in the past, but I just don't remember anything about it, so we're gonna see where that takes us. I have this Wander Beauty Trip for Two blush and bronzer duo that I think I got in a subscription box, which probably means BoxyCharm, because that's the only one I really subscribed to for long enough to care about. It has a blush in Bellini and supposedly a bronzer in Costa Rica, although I don't know who this bronzer is for. I'm pretty much as pale as they come, or at least almost, and I don't know. We're gonna have to see about this. Gonna have to see if I like the blush enough to keep that, because something tells me that the bronzer is totally useless. I have another Milk Makeup product. This is their little blush in, I think, Work is the shade. Where? I don't see anything about the shade, but I'm pretty sure this was their most famous color in Work, and I just don't remember how I feel about it. I know I've used it in the past, but it's been too long. Another blush is the Dallas blush. Obviously, this is one of their old ones. I purchased this from Natalie, who now has an ASMR channel. Before she had a beauty channel, her old name was Flower Bomb 31, I believe. I had watched her for years and years and years, and during one of her declutters and sales that she did, I purchased this Dallas blush, and I used to like it, but I'd like to see where things stand now. One last blush is this Bobbi Brown in Nude Pink, and I thought this would be a really fun one to test out right now with the whole, what is it, cold girl trend, and then of course with the Dior pink blush being so popular last year all over social media, TikTok, I assume primarily. I don't watch TikTok, so I don't know. I actually gifted that Dior blush to a very good friend of mine, and so far, from what I understand, she really likes it. So I figured, well, instead of buying myself yet another blush, because if you saw my makeup inventory, you know that I certainly don't need another one, I should pull this one out and see how I feel about it. All right, and then I have two highlighters that I have tested out in the past, and it's been so long yet again that I have forgotten how I feel about them. This is the Urban Decay Sin highlighter. Looks like so, a nice champagne. And this is the Lorac Starlight. It just says Starlight, so I don't know if that's the shade or what that is, but it's this Lorac highlighter. So I've used both of them actually quite a lot. They're both quite beat up, as you can probably see. I don't know. And they are very similar, so I definitely don't feel like I need both, if I even need either one, because I have since moved on to primarily other highlighters, so I want to see if this is worth keeping around. Eyeshadow primer, I want to test out this Urban Decay Anti-Aging one. I can't remember if it's this one, the Anti-Aging one, or the original. I have like a mini of the original one, but I feel like one of these makes my eyeshadows crease, which I know is an unpopular opinion. I know most people really like these primers, but the few times I've used them, I don't believe I've had great experiences. So I really want to give this one a fair chance before I decide whether it's going to stay or exit out of this household. And then I put in a bunch of lip products, and I'm gonna see how this goes in January and see if this is too ambitious and too many to include. I kind of gave myself options, so I have way too many lip liners, and I decided to put in 3 of these Sephora ones. These are quite old. I don't know if they make these anymore. These are called just their Rouge Gel Lip Liners. The colors are beautiful. Problem is, from what I remember, and I haven't used these in a while, is these are too creamy. They are almost like lipsticks, like creamy, balmy lipsticks. So they slide all around, and that's not really what I'm looking for in a lip liner. So I want to give these a chance because I do love the colors so much, but I have a feeling these all or some might leave at the end of the month. And then I just pulled out a few other random ones that I haven't used in a while. So I need to see if I should keep them. This is from the Real Her brand in I Am Precious. I'm sure this is a BoxyCharm situation. Then I have the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Naked. I used to really love these lip pencils. So let's see what happens with that one. And this must be, again, another subscription one. This is the Jonte Blue. I have no idea if you guys can see that or if you know how to pronounce this brand. Is that even the name of the brand? Yeah, distributed by Jonte Blue LLC, Los Angeles, California. This is in 955 Spice, and when I swatched it, this did feel very dry. So we're gonna see. It's probably way too old, but I'm gonna give it a shot. And then, just in case I decide to keep any of those Sephora pencils, I figured maybe once or twice I should give this Pixi by Petra lip contour liner a chance, because I think this is supposed to be like the well, it even says invisible smudge stopper. So you can see, even though I've just destroyed the tip, but you could see it's supposed to be like clear, and I'm guessing it's supposed to prevent things from bleeding outside of your lip line, which at my age could be a good thing. I bought it and never used it, so I think this should be the time. Here's where the ambitious part comes in. I used to be obsessed with the Urban Decay, I think these were called the Revolution lipsticks. They got reformulated and repackaged, and then those got reformulated and repackaged, and then it's possible that they've been reformulated and repackaged yet again since. So I'm afraid to tell you how old these are. I believe, from what I remember, how they looked and smelled and felt, these are still fine. Nothing seems to be super out of the ordinary, but a couple of them looked a little suspicious. So I decided to pull all 7 that I have left. I have decluttered over the years a few. I loved these back in the day. I decided to give all of these a chance this month, see how many of them I get to use. I do have one of them on my lips today. We'll see how I feel about these now. So I don't know if you guys want to see the colors. Would you like to see the colors? I ask as if you're going to answer. So my most used back in the day, and you can see this is all I have left, was in Naked. Shall I swatch? So there's Naked. It was a beautiful pinky nude. Then I had Rapture. Rapture is a gorgeous plummy mauve. I have Fiend, which I believe is the one I have on today. It's a much brighter pinky, I don't know, pinky mauve, pinky coral. I don't even know what you would call that. This is Venom, more of a magenta purple. And these are the creamy formulas. And then the ones in the black packaging are the matte formulas. So I have matte in After Dark. Ooh, that's a beautiful magenta pink, purple. I don't know, it's got a little bit of everything. Bad place to swatch, I'm sorry guys. This is Matte Bittersweet. This, I would say, no, is a magenta pink. The other one, in comparison, is more plummy, like more raspberry colored. And then I have Bad Blood. If you know me, you know I love my matte reds. So there's Bad Blood. So we're gonna see. And these are not like matte formula. They're creamy matte and they do settle in and, you know, like the shine rubs off after a while, but I wouldn't call these a high matte. Like one of my favorite new reds of 2022, which if I do a favorites video or most used or something like that, you guys will see it again there, but it's the Gwen Stefani line, her original red, the matte lipstick. Like that's much more matte. In fact, here, let's for funsies compare. It's a different color too, but you could see the finish, right? One is much shinier than the other. All right, back on track, Natalia, squirrel. All right, and last but not least, what are we gonna do with eyeshadow palettes? Because again, if you've seen my inventory, you know your girl's got way too many, but I also know, considering that I don't wear makeup every day, it is just not practical for me to include 10 or 15 palettes a month to try. It's just not gonna work. Plus I have new things. As again, you will see if I do a baskets of shame video, let me know down below if you wanna see that. You will see I have so many eyeshadow palettes that I have yet to even touch, swatch, open, well, open maybe and look at, but haven't swatched or tried on my eyes. So I decided that from my old ones, I am going to do 3 a month and go from there. And if I don't get through all of them this year, then I guess there's always next year. But I'm just gonna do my best to rotate through as many as I can and not set my expectations too high. So the first 3 I selected my Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons because I thought this color story was winter appropriate and we are after all in January. So here we are. It is what I have on my eyes today. I also selected my ColourPop It's My Pleasure. I don't have that many ColourPop palettes. I've never really been too much into ColourPop, but the few that I have, I'd like to know whether I'm gonna keep or not and how the formula is because I'm not too well versed in ColourPop. So this is one that has these beautiful purples. Again, I thought this would be a cool time of the year to do some purple looks. And I do remember though maybe 2 or 3 times I've ever used this in my life, enjoying it. And then I have the BH Royal Affair. This is one of their really old palettes. I don't think it's been available for a long time, but it just has so many cool colors that I never can part with it. And yet I don't often reach for it either, so it's a bit of a dilemma. I've included this in like my favorite fall palettes a few years back when I actually did use it more often, and it just still somehow slips through the cracks and I avoid using it. So we're gonna make our best effort to try this out in January. I mean, I have used it. I can see there's a few shades especially that definitely look like they've been well loved, and I've definitely swatched this, I'm sure, numerous times. I think there's lots of great color possibilities here, so I don't want to just let this palette go without giving it a fair chance, and that's in general my personality. It's why I have a really hard time decluttering, because I haven't used so much of my collection and I'm like, but what if I'm getting rid of a good thing? So I won't know if it's a good thing until I actually use it. And that, I believe, is everything that is in my January basket of doom. I think what we are gonna do, depending on how filming and editing ends up working out for me in January, is I'm either gonna do 2 separate videos, one where I come back and tell you guys what happens to all of these products, or I'm going to do it in one video where I tell you what I'm doing with these products and introduce my February basket of doom. Also, if you have thoughts on that, whether you feel like I should do it in 2 separate videos considering how long-winded I am, or whether I should do it in one, then please do chime in down below. That is it for my January basket of doom. If you have any suggestions for any tweaks, any ideas for how you think this could be more productive and better for me as somebody who, as I said, does not wear makeup daily, I hope to do it more often in 2023 because 2022 I did not wear a lot of makeup at all, to be honest. But yeah, if you have any ideas for how you'd like me to proceed with this series, because I really do want this to be successful, then please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're doing something similar, if you're doing some sort of a project that is helping you rotate through your stash, please share it with me, because I am all ears for better ideas than this one. If you've enjoyed my basket of doom, then please give this video a thumbs up, give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I often forget to say that, but I hope that you will subscribe and join us here in our world of trying to see what we own and see how we like it. And other than that, I hope that you guys are all doing really, really well. I hope that you're staying healthy, continuing to take care of yourselves and those around you, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Whoa. Did anybody hear my stomach? Well, that was intense.